I'm going to make a frittata. It's going to be a cheese and butternut squash frittata. So, I'll show you what I've got. So, oh, is that right? Stand still. There we go. Right. So this is the frittata. This one's got asparagus in it, which I did buy, and I used all of it in a recipe yesterday, and then completely forgot that I needed to save half of it for this. Never mind. So it's not having asparagus in it. So this one is going to have some butternut squash, which I have already roasted in the oven. A sweet pepper, some tomatoes, some mushrooms. I've got some spray lights, some chilli flakes and some oregano, some salt and pepper, and some salad cheese, lighter salad cheese, which is like a feta cheese, and some eggs. So what am I going to do? First of all, I'm going to chop up, take the skin off and cut up my butternut squash into sort of bite-sized pieces, and also the pepper. So I'm just going to find my knife, probably in here. There we go. And once you've roasted, all I did was I cut up my butternut squash and then literally spray lighted my tray, and then put some salt and pepper, and I popped it in the oven for about 20 minutes, and I just find it easier rather than trying to cut that skin off, which is quite difficult and it's quite dangerous with a knife, trying to get that off. You cut your fingers off. I find it easier just to cook it with the skin on, and then once it's cooked, just cut it away from the skin. I mean, you can eat the skin. Gives you extra fibre, but I don't want the skin. But it comes, as you can see, it comes away quite easily. So there we go. So I'm going to finish off doing the rest of this, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so I've chopped all my veg up. I've beaten my eggs. I've got 4 eggs in a bowl. I've got my mushrooms, my butternut squash. I've got 50 grams of the low-fat cheese, because this is for 2 people. And I've got my tomatoes, my sweet pepper, and I've also added, I'm going to do an onion, because I think it needs a bit of onion. So I've got my frying pan on. I'm going to add in my onion to start with into my pan. I'm just going to soften the onion in my frying pan. And I will come back to you in a minute. Right, I've just added my tomatoes, my mushrooms and my little red sweet pepper. I'm just going to cook those through for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to add my butternut squash and my cheese once that's cooked through for a couple of minutes. Right, so I've now got my butternut squash and my cheese, and I'm just going to turn it down to about 3. Just warm that through, and I'm just going to get out a different cheese to sprinkle on the top. It's a bit like a fresh parmesan. It's grana padano. I probably said that wrong. Grated, but very finely grated, like parmesan. But it's not as strong as parmesan, it's quite delicate. So I'm going to stick my grill on. I'm going to be needing that in a minute. I'm just going to take out my put that there. And get my grill on high. And I'm going to sprinkle in some of my chilies. Into that. And some of the oregano. Give that a little mix. Just trying to be gentle because I don't want to break up the vegetables. Then I'm now going to add my egg all over. And let the base cook. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm just going to cook that for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to finish it off under the grill. I'll come back to you in a minute before I put it under the grill. So I'm just going to now sprinkle a little bit of this, not a lot, on top, and then I'm just going to pop it under the grill to get that topping all nicely cooked, and then I'll come back to you. So there we have it. It's finished under the grill. It's all nice and golden and brown and cooked on top, and it's not wet or anything in the egg. The egg's not wet or anything, it's all nicely cooked. So now what you've got to do is try and get it out of that pan. Right, so here we go. So get yourself a nice big plate. Go around the edges a little bit. I think this is the time to have a good non-stick frying pan. Voila! There we have our frittata. It's a bit hot at the moment, so I should just let it cool down and then I'll do a bit of a taste test. Right, so I've put it with a salad. Oh, can you see? Cut it up. It's cut really well actually. It's cut very nicely. So there it is on my plate. And I've got a little bit here. So I've still got half of it left. So I've done half for Jace and half for me. That's Jason's. I've got some sweet potatoes that I've baked in the oven for Jason to go with his. He's out on his bike ride at the moment, so he's going to need a little bit of something when he gets back. Like I said, I've still got half left, so we'll have that tomorrow with some salad for lunch. So I will give it a try for you. That's lovely. Really fresh. It's like an omelette. But not, it's not that watery. You know, sometimes when you make an omelette and it's a bit watery, it's not got that wateryness about it. It's very nice. So quick to make. It's probably the quickest and easiest thing I've ever made. Really thick. I think cold, I think will be really nice. A bit like a Spanish tortilla. You know, I know it's not got potatoes in it, but I think it would be really nice. Cold. It's delicious hot. That cheese that I've got in there, those little bits of cheese have held, and the butternut squash has also held its form nicely. Hasn't gone all mushy at all or anything. Very nice. Definitely recommend. Give that a go. Really, really nice. You could even have that for a brunch at the weekend. That would be a lovely brunch. You could have some bacon to it if you wanted to. And then I'll tell you what you could do, which I would do. I would pop a poached egg on top and let that egg yolk run down. Lovely. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this. And don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Take care and thanks for joining me in my kitchen. Bye.